Hi, I'm Naturalist Lizzie Rings with another craft video for you, presenting at our beautiful FA Cyberling Nature Realm on this glorious fall day for a wonderful craft video. So what I want you to do is grab your green islands and some newspaper and sit down to craft with us. This craft is a little bit more complicated than some of the other ones that we've featured. So you will definitely need parent supervision throughout the whole craft, but don't worry, the whole family can still participate because there are many aspects to this craft. All this craft takes is a couple key items. So you will need a jar. I do suggest having a jar without any writing on it, but a normal ball jar will work just fine, and it can be any size. Then you're gonna need some Mod Podge. Mod Podge is the gift to the crafting world. It's a finisher, a sealant, and a glue all in one simple bottle. I'm gonna be using a sponge brush. Sponge brushes are great for Mod Podge because they help apply it in a nice thick coat, and that's what you need when you're working with Mod Podge. Finally, you're gonna need some leaves. Whether these be artificial or real leaves, any will do. Remember, with real leaves, they will need to be pressed for about a week before you can use them for this craft. But you can go out and have fun collecting them. If you opt for artificial leaves, make sure you're buying ones that are nice and thin, so you don't need those fancy ones from super expensive craft stores. You can just get them at the Dollar General. All right, let's get ready to craft. So this is gonna be our finished product. And you can put a candle in there and you can see the light shine through the leaves. So you don't need a thick coating of leaves on the outside of the jar because you want the light to be able to shine through the different layers. And the more you pack on there, the less the light will come through. So you can discard your lid. You won't need it at all because eventually we're gonna be putting a candle in there. Now you're gonna wanna take your Mod Podge and pour it into a bowl or plate so you can work with it a little bit easier. Ooh. All right, next take your sponge brush. I'm gonna use my wider one because I'm gonna coat the entire jar with Mod Podge. All right, once your jar is coated, you're gonna wait for like 10 minutes until this gets nice and tacky and sticky. So it's just a waiting game. It's like watching paint dry. Set my timer. Check it after 5. Okay, whew, that was a lot of waiting, but I think we're ready to start putting our leaves on. So like I said, you don't need super good leaves, and it might even help to take the leaves and rub them in your hands and kind of rough them up a little bit. And then you're just gonna start to stick them down. Once we have a nice coating of leaves all over the jar, we're gonna take the Mod Podge and cover the tops of the leaves. See how it's kind of going through the leaf? That's what we want. That will help it stick and seal down. All right, so what I'm doing is just looking at where I have some bigger gaps and holes, and I'm filling that in with a couple leaves. So that has a nice big gap there. So I'm gonna take a leaf, not that one, take this one. It's from a different color. Stick it. Let the Mod Podge do its work. Good job, Mod Podge. All right, and remember to have fun with this. This is your jar. This is your craft. You can make it look however you want. And I think the beauty of fall is how random the colors of leaves are in the woods, you know? So I think that's what I'm trying to create. My hands are getting sticky. All right, when you have a nice, good covering of leaves, it's another waiting game. Super fun. So, once you have a nice, good covering of leaves, and trust me, you're just gonna keep adding and adding because you're gonna see spots that you wanna cover. You have to let the base coat dry because these leaves, sometimes they don't like to stick very well, but the Mod Podge gets stickier as it dries. So you're just gonna have to leave it and let it dry for a little bit and then come back and keep adding on layers. All right. So I think that's what we're gonna get on there for now. Just gotta wait and let it dry. Maybe another 10 minutes. Yeah. Okay, so once your first layer has dried, you can start putting on your second layer. Just have to be a little bit careful if it's not fully dry, because while you're dabbing on the Mod Podge, you might accidentally pull off a leaf or two, and you don't want that to happen. So you can start putting on some Mod Podge and add leaves where you think you need some leaves. And like I said before, this is your craft, so you can make it however you want to look. More leaves, less leaves. Just remember that the more layers you put on, the less light you'll be able to see through the jar when you're all finished. Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna let those sit, and I might add a few more because I think at the end I want it to look like this one. So this is nicely covered with a lot of different leaves and a lot of different colors, and I have my candle in there, and if it was darker out you could see how the light shines through all of those leaves, just like you know, the fall canopy or something like that. And then I just took a bit of string and I doubled it up so it was a little bit thicker. Move this out of my way. And you can just tie it around the collar of your jar. All right, just like that. Now, Mod Podge does take at least a day to fully set. So set it up on a shelf somewhere and let it sit and dry and rest for a full day before you do anything with it. But that's it, you're done. Good job. Thank you so much for watching this craft video with us. You can check on our website for more craft videos and activities and programs that you can do during this wonderful fall season. Make sure you go out into Summit Metro Parks and enjoy fall, because we are your backyard. Also, if you would like to share your craft with us, make sure to use the hashtag @HomeInNature. That way we can see it. Have a great day. Bye.